Hello, everyone, and welcome to the DMV Football Gauntlet. My name is Matthew Heiserman, and today we are joined by three-star high school football recruit and Howard football commit, Mason Love. Mason, it's great to have you on.
Yes, sir. Great to be on here. Excited.
Of course, and getting right into it, I just want to start by asking when you first knew that you wanted to play football.
Well, I started at a young age. I started playing at 4, basketball
Mhm.
and football.
Yeah.
And then I got to high school and I'm only like 6'2", 6'3". So I was like, I'm playing small forward at
Mhm.
high school. So that's not really gonna work at the college level. So I'll just
Mhm.
put my all in the football.
Now, how would you say that, as a dual sport athlete playing both basketball and football, in what ways have they kind of helped each other? And what have you been able to learn playing basketball, translate that to football?
Basketball, really just helped my footwork,
Mhm. Yeah.
just agility in general, jumping and going to get rebounds,
Mhm.
layups, the lateral movement that you do in football. I play
Mhm.
linebacker, so it goes hand in hand.
Now, when you started playing football, was it flag football, tackle football? What did that look like for you?
It was flag for sure, and then
Mhm.
about seven when I was 7 years old is when the pass came on.
Mhm. And then were you always a linebacker or were you more of a utility guy playing all across the field?
I started with just playing middle backer, and then as I got to learn more about the game and
Mhm.
uh, know more about different positions, that's when I became that kind of utility guy, just
Mhm.
outside backer, middle backer, DN.
Has linebacker always been your favorite position?
Oh yeah, I say yeah, it definitely has.
Yeah, I love to hear that. And as one of the top rated linebackers in the class of 2026, what's one thing that you really take pride in when it comes to your play style?
Just technique and discipline. Uh, I know there's a lot of people that rely on athleticism, but
Mhm.
as you get older, everybody gonna be athletic and everybody gonna be able to run those 4.40. So technique and discipline is really what's
Mhm.
the most uh, equivalent across the board that's gonna get you to where you need to be.
100%. And on September 21st, 2023, you received your first ever offer from Central Michigan. Can you just break down what it felt like to receive that offer and what was going through your mind during that moment?
I was just excited. Like,
Mhm.
I was just playing football first 3 games. And then coach called me and was like, Central Michigan offered it. I got on the phone with that
Mhm.
coach at the time, Coach Callie. So, it was just excitement for real, like all the hard work, but I know I
Mhm.
couldn't stop there. So,
Now, which year was or has been the most heavy for recruitment for you so far?
heavy for recruitment, I would say this year.
Mhm.
Uh, it picked up my sophomore year and then it kind of
Yeah.
like stopped.
Yeah.
And then like this or last summer for real when July 15 hit when I could contact coaches like my own instead of having to go through my coach. When it's really picked up.
Yeah.
That summer I think I got Cincinnati, Liberty. So that's when it really picked up. Like
Mhm.
people was like, okay, this kid might have something in him.
Yeah. And I mentioned this during the intro, but on May 18th, you officially committed to play college football at Howard University in Washington, D.C. What really stood out to you about Howard and why, or when did you know that that was, the best option for you?
Well, my parents both went to HBCUs,
Mhm.
and I knew like they wanted. They didn't really care where I wanted. Like I worked hard for this moment, and they
Yeah.
pushed me to be to the person I am today. So they didn't. It didn't really matter. But what
Mhm.
stood out to me about Howard, both of my parents came from HBCU backgrounds, and they're doing successful in today's world. And
Mhm.
I know that culture piece, like Coach Gold and Coach Johnson, they recruited me hard. Like some schools, they will tell you they want you or uh, try to put on this front like you the number one dude or number two dude.
Yeah.
But Howard really like showed me like like we want you here. Like they made me feel really wanted. So I was like, it's the best option for me.
Absolutely. And you also attended the Howard DMV Junior Day earlier this year. What were
Yes.
you able to learn from that experience and how did that impact your decision to commit there?
Uh, when I got there, I mean, like I said, the energy of the coaches, I felt so
Yeah.
welcome. I mean, it was just me and my mom. I felt so welcome. And then I didn't know that much about like HBCUs. Uh, like I know they might. I've heard they might run things differently. They don't have enough money, allegedly. But I mean, Howard has it all. They got a lot of sponsorships,
Mhm.
a great education, and then they pour they pour their money into football. So
Mhm.
I was like, this is the best place for me. They got a little bit of everything.
And how would you describe the connection you've already been able to build with Nicholas Gold, who is Howard's recruiting coordinator and linebackers coach?
I mean, it's been great. We started talking early of this year,
Mhm.
or I say end of last year, like
Yeah,
December when he
yeah.
first contacted me. Uh, and I mean, we've been texting almost every day
Mhm.
since then. And then he finally offered me probably, I say February, maybe March, around
Mhm.
that time. And ever since then, we just been staying in touch. He been coming by to see me, like been up there once. So it's been great, like
Mhm.
so real, for sure.
Yeah, and as a junior, you've received well over 15 Division I offers from schools such as Cincinnati, Marshall, and Arkansas State. I know we kind of touched on it, but can you just break down what the recruitment process looks like for you? I don't know if you've gone on any visits, maybe some schools have come to your school, just stuff like that.
The recruitment process was kind of a little bit stressful, but I mean it's good, very good problems to have. But
Mhm.
I mean it
Yeah.
was kind of stressful in terms of I know I kind of wanted to go to school with my brother, but it wasn't like a deal breaker. Like it wouldn't
Mhm.
make or break me going to a
Mhm.
school. And then uh, I was kind of that like P5 FC, not Power Five, like Power Four FCS type of player. So
Mhm.
just like schools coming by to see me having to go work out in front of some schools
Yeah.
and try to prove myself that I'm a P4 guy. But I mean, at the end of the day, Division 1 is Division 1, and you're gonna get your best shot. Everybody from FCS or FCS or FBS gonna get the shot at the NFL if they put that work in. So
And, of course, you attend Trinity Episcopal School in Richmond, Virginia. How much did distance from home impact your decision when deciding on a school, considering that a lot of your offers were from programs in the DMV, such as Richmond, Liberty, and JMU?
I knew I kind of wanted to stay not too far, like
Hmm.
Cincinnati. That would have been kind of a little
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
But like JMU,
Hmm.
Howard, East Carolina, those type of schools, 2 hours away. Like I wanted to be around
Hmm.
that time range of the drive, knowing my parents or family could see me, but they would have to let me know still like they still coming up. So
And now that you're in the off season, and I guess the recruitment process has sort of been wrapping up for you, what does the typical day look like for you in terms of just practicing and training?
like this morning, I got up at 8 and I
Mhm.
went to go get some on the field work with Timon Brown,
Mhm.
co-defensive coordinator and DB coach at Trinity Episcopal School. And that's what I mean. I usually get up early. I like to start my day early so I could
Mhm.
have free time at the end of the day. So I probably get up around 7, get my day started around 8 to 10 in that range in terms of like workouts, and then I'll get a lift in after, and then
Mhm.
I'll just probably chill and or stretch at nighttime for
For
the
sure.
remainder of the day.
Yeah. And now that you're just 1 year away from college, are there any things that you're still trying to work on when it comes to your game that you're trying to improve before you reach that next level?
Yes, sir. I'm still working on being more explosive.
Mhm.
I had a few injuries that limited my explosiveness, but gaining that back has been a real important thing this year. Being able to just pop my hips and making sure I look explosive on tape, and then I would say body control. I play a lot out in the slot. My fault, but I play a
Yeah.
lot out in the slot.
Mhm.
So or like that outside backer. So being able to
Mhm.
run and stop with those slot receivers and running backs is real important.
Mhm. And in terms of the mental side of football, are there any pregame superstitions you have or maybe any music you like to listen to get yourself in the right mindset?
I'll say starting Thursday.
Mhm,
I just turn on NBA YoungBoy, like
mhm,
whether it's singing like a sad song, just
mhm.
YoungBoy, like I don't know,
Yep.
listening to him just get me in that mode. So that's
Mhm.
probably the only superstition or like type of thing I
Yeah.
got to do before a game.
Mhm. And are there any linebackers in the NFL that you try and take inspiration from or model your game after?
I like Roquan Smith's game in
Mhm.
terms of if I'm playing in the box, he real aggressive.
Yep.
He has a high IQ. I mean, I'm the one of the captains on my defense right now, so having been able to have that IQ piece and being violent and be able to scrape off the tackles to make a tackle is definitely something
Mhm.
I look up to.
Now, when you're watching an NFL game, are you typically paying attention to, the whole game altogether, mainly just the linebackers and what they're doing?
I usually dissect the play before the play happens. Like usually, if it's I usually two or formation and then alignment assignment. So
Mhm.
I usually what would I do if I was in this position? What would I be thinking?
Yeah. Mhm.
Down and distance and stuff like that. So I really just try to look at it if I'm put myself in them shoes and what would
Mhm.
I do.
Now, what's one thing you don't think the average football fan necessarily knows about the linebacker position?
It demands a lot out of you,
Mhm.
especially if you're one of the more vocal guys or the guys that has to put people in place to make plays. It definitely demands a lot of you in terms of run fits, pass coverage,
Mhm.
demanding the fronts for the defensive line, and then getting in pass coverage for if it's a pass or play action. So linebacker
Mhm.
definitely demands a lot out of you. It's not as easy as some people think.
Mhm. 100%. And, during your final year of high school football, are there any personal goals as well as team goals that you would like to achieve?
I definitely want to be get back to the top uh,
Mhm.
in the Visa and Virginia area and get back to the top of where we were. We
Mhm.
lost a couple guys, but that culture piece is big and winning. That's what I believe in. I think we have the culture this year to do it for sure. And any personal goals, I definitely want to be Virginia Prep League Defensive Player of the Year.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
then I want to be, I was first team All State last year. I'm aiming for that again. And I
Mhm.
want All Metro Defensive Player of the Year or first team All Metro.
Yeah, I love to hear that. Now, I do have one final question to ask before we wrap things up. What's one random fun fact about yourself, just so the people watching can get to know you a little better at a personal level?
One fact, I'm a twin. I don't know if a lot of, I mean, we don't look that different,
Mhm.
similar anymore, but I'm definitely a identical twin. My brother
Mhm.
Miles Love also committed to play the Howard for center or offensive line. Uh, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I love to hear that. And with that being said, I can't thank you enough for coming on. I really do appreciate it. Is there anything else you want to say to the people watching before we wrap things up?
No, sir.
Mhm.
I appreciate you for hopping on this with me.
Absolutely. Again, big thanks to Mason Love for joining us on the DMV Football Gauntlet. And as always, we will see you next time.